Alright, so I know I said I was gonna hop off because, my head was hurting because we had so much dopamine from making all these calls, but I do want to show you guys everything that's we're looking at. Like, obviously, yes, we have 100% accuracy. Obviously, yes, we're the most underrated channel on the internet. Um, and I really don't want to be on here too long. But just a lot of, what's going on with the dump. We already called the top, we already called the bottom, we already called every single price movement exactly 100% accuracy. And we're going to continue to look at the charts that we've been calling. And I told you guys that this dump might not be over, and we're looking at that. Well, so I told you about this potentially earlier, and I told you the relevancy behind this. I'm not going to explain this any more than I already did. We ended up dumping below this level, which I told you it was like looking like this. We needed to break this trend line right here on total market cap. We ended up breaking this line, which I told you guys about, and then we ended up breaking this line, and we just absolutely ended up tanking. And then you have this relevant support area right here. It looks like, yeah, these line up nearly perfectly. With you have 1, 2, 3, and then you have that wick. So essentially it came up, hit this as resistance, and is coming back down. So obviously this trend line is major that we're looking at right here, and then we're going to be looking at this one right here, because obviously these two trend lines are major. So we want to see a break right here, and then we want to see a break right here. Like, you see this consolidation pattern right here, and then you see how this is a consolidation pattern, and you see how price action, even though you break out of this triangle right here, it still comes up. Alright, so again, I'm just going to make this really short because, like I said, I do have a really bad headache. It's just ridiculous how accurate this channel is. It's literally ridiculous that we called everything. Alright, so I told you guys that we're not to rush into a trade right here, and it looks like we have a morning star, and of course, again, we called it. So, I mean, I really can't be on here too long, but so, we're looking for something like a close like right here would be extremely bearish. And again, we're just looking at all these major levels right now that as major fib levels for a potential and if you, I guess at this point, it's kind of old information, my old stream that I did 3 hours ago, but we called the top and bottom, I think probably at least 7 times. We called the top, bottom, whatever, multiple times on just one chart alone. I was like, oh, it's going to come down, consolidate. It did exactly. It was ridiculous. I had such a headache just because way too much dopamine flowing through my head. So yeah, this is a morning star. It looks like, really to see a morning star, you'd want to see something like this. This is really a doji, but the wick being, so obviously I told you guys that we weren't just gonna magically like wake up all the way like everybody in the space was thinking. And that's Bitcoin. And I told you guys, and I will say I told you guys, because I told you guys I wasn't gonna say that anymore, but right now I definitely gotta say it. So if you look at the hourly, it's looking pretty bullish actually comparative to ETH. You have this right here, which is like a doji type, and then you have this price action bullishly engulfing this price action right here. So Bitcoin and if we look at some other graphs, you'll see that we actually perfectly, like, these charts are like ridiculously accurate. This is just one of the charts obviously on the channel, but this is looking really good. And let's go to ETH, BTC. So again, like, we called this, we had like all this stuff that we took it off. But if you watched the stream earlier, we called Bitcoin's top, bottom, like whatever. We called like probably like 10 calls to the exact dollar amount. And right now I told you guys we were gonna come down to this level. We came down to this level. I had another line that we drew that we hit perfectly. I told you guys we were going to perfectly wick this, come back up, and then potentially go down further, which is exactly what's happening. And again, we're looking at this level right here as the potential target with a lot of potential support right here. And everything that we've talked about, from total to Bitcoin dominance to ETH to Bitcoin to ETH to Bitcoin comparative, it's all just looking very good. So Bitcoin's charts look better than Ethereum's charts. Ethereum's charts not looking too hot. Essentially what I'm expecting is for like what we're seeing right now for Bitcoin versus ETH comparative to continue down lower. I'm expecting again, a wick in here, if not on some of like over the relatively short term. I'm expecting us to come down, and I think that's literally going to be one of the best opportunities to long ETH in this entire cycle. And I think that's like right next to where we called Cardano's 10x, or when I called the bottom of Bitcoin. I think that's like right up there with that. I mean, not the fact that, I mean, just today alone, I think at least we called this bottom, we called Bitcoin's bottom, we called the top, we called everything, like I think like 7 times today alone. But I mean, who really cares? I mean, yes, there's not a channel on the planet that could do that, but besides mine, but I think that calling the bull market and potentially calling the bear market, and then this this longing opportunity is going to be the biggest thing in the space, biggest opportunity. So this is the EMA on the 4 hour. I'm looking at this a lot. Let's see, so that's Coinbase, Kraken. So I'm looking at these levels. We covered these earlier. Yeah, those are the main levels I'm looking at. And then if you wanted to, what you would do is go to, I'm starting to get a headache again, so I'm probably gonna have to head out. I was literally like, it's just way too much. Like, it's cool to be like, one of the best traders on the planet, but like, it just gets too much after a while. Like, you hit like 5 calls in a row on the stream, and you freak out, and your dopamine just explodes. I wasn't expecting to come back on this stream for another like few days, just because we have like barely any subs. But so this is actually one of the charts where we were starting to call the bottom. We called this right here. We called this right here. We called everything if you watch the stream. And then we had the charts that backed up. And then actually, like, before this even happened, like, I was like, yeah, we're expecting a move down here. And I think, like, back then it was, like, right here, and then it went down further. Then we wicked back up, and then, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So I'm waiting for another 4 hour candlestick close. That's what I'm looking at personally. So if you see this, yeah, a lot of these calls are off camera. We're just looking at this, like it bounces off this area perfectly, moves higher. That looks good. We closed above these two areas. That looks good. I'm looking at this area. I'm looking at this area. And what I notice is that there's a massive amount of resistance and support at these levels. So resistance, resistance, resistance comes down, support, support, support. So this is going to be a major level on top of the overlaying channel right here, which is obviously touched as valid. So that will be interesting to see. I mean, we called everything. It's just stupid. We called this invalidation. We called the dump. We called the bottom. It's just stupid. I told my buddy how much I made yesterday, and he said, that's just disgusting. That is just disgusting. Oh, let's see. So I mean, that's pretty much everything. Like I said, I already have a headache. I wish I could trade with you guys longer, but there's only like 3 of you guys watching, and we're literally hitting like all the best calls. And I'm just getting such a ridiculous headache from being, because it's one thing to say the price action's gonna go here, and then for it to happen like 10 times, it's just stupid. So this actually does come into play as total. We have total crypto market cap is dropping off. So money has to switch between alts and Bitcoin right now. And so Bitcoin dominance does start to have relevancy until we have total start to come back into play. And I showed you guys the trend line that we're looking at for total to come back into play. Until then, we're really looking at this level right here, and we're seeing, you know, what's going on right here. If this continues to pump, this would potentially be, it looks like a double bottom. Where's the price action? Okay, so it's not a double bottom because the price action comes in from right here, but it doesn't come in from the top. A textbook double bottom, again, the price action has to come in from the top. Although what we could see, what it looks like is you have this right here, which is a bottom, and then this right here is a bottom. And then if we were to break this neckline, this could potentially be a double bottom with the price action relatively coming in towards the top. And then obviously, if we were to break this one, this would be massive. But I mean, it's looking good as far as, because, you know, we broke out of this golden pocket area, which has been absolutely monumental. Of course, we're looking at this level. Of course, we're looking at this level. Of course, we're looking at this level. So, and if these do end up playing out, and again, I say this is relevant and whatnot because of what's going on with the total market cap, like I said, and like this is where you come to really understand what's going on in crypto, because we don't just cover the charts. Anybody could do that. It's one thing to cover the charts, it's another thing to tell the whole story of what's going on in crypto and really be able to interpret the charts and know exactly the most fundamental areas to be looking at. So that's why you sub to the channel, because we give you absolute clarity. And like I said before, because total is down, we have to take these into consideration until that trend line on total is broken. So let me go over just one more time what I'm talking about. So that's Bitcoin dominance, and if it continues to pump, if total doesn't continue to pump, and if Bitcoin continues to recover, like what it looks like could definitely happen, then altcoins would temporarily get wrecked, which is obviously invaluable information. So yeah, we're looking at this trend line right now. We want to at least see a break above this trend line for a potential reversal idea out of this bearish, I guess you could say downtrend, if it potentially rides this wave down. And again, because, you know, money's not flowing in to the space right now, just currently as of a few hours ago, we have to look at Bitcoin dominance. We have to look at those levels. You have to look at those levels. If those levels end up breaking, that's going to be catastrophic for alts. This would potentially save you a massive amount of money if you were in altcoin trades. So this is a level I'm definitely looking at. Again, I want to see, so we have 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for the 4-hour candlestick close. If it closes right here, that'd be massively bullish through all respects. And then if we were to just wick this area, hit it as resistance and come down, that's not bullish to me. I want to see it break through these levels as resistance to begin with, and then close them off as support with a confirmation on at least the hourly. And what I'm really looking at right now is a 4-hour candlestick close. Where we're going to hit a 4-hour candlestick close is going to be massive. So that's probably, like I said, you come here because you want the facts. You want to know exactly what you need to know. And I could tell you all sorts of stuff. But what you need to know is the most important thing right now in crypto is, where is this 4-hour candlestick going to close? So we have 1 candlestick, 2 candlesticks, 3 candlesticks on the 1 hour. I want to see this next candlestick close. If it closes anywhere around here, that's going to be absolutely massively bullish. Does that mean a full correction? It doesn't, but it means that the increase of a potential reversal is highly likely, or at least substantially more likely. So like I said, you're coming here to learn what you need to know, not just, like I said, I could go over technical analysis all day long. Anybody could, but it's what's really fundamentally important. Again, when you're looking at Bitcoin, this would be a massive bearish or bullish engulfing candlestick on the 4-hour, and this would be a clear sign of the start to a reversal for sure, especially after breaking this golden pocket area. And then we're testing this red line right here, which is the previous a local high in the immediate short term. So that's what that red line is. And then these are Fibonacci areas that it has to break above to start to negate that idea of what we said before with negating the idea of a downtrend, which we've been talking about for a long time. And then again, we called both dumps, and a lot of the reasons for that was because we were looking at this key chart that we about to take a look at real quick. We were one of the only channels to talk about this, well, the only channel to really cover this in depth with everything that's going on. Keep an eye on this. This is going to be absolutely massive. If we continue down, we've already hit this level, so at this point we can just delete this. And then you have this right here as support potentially. So yeah, I mean, we deleted all our different levels because we already hit them. So we're looking at possibly coming down, wicking in any one of these areas before potentially moving higher, just depending. And then right here, we could wick higher, or we could come down to this area as like the most bearish scenario. And if this is the case, that would be an awesome opportunity, as long as it bounces at this area. And you have to make sure it bounces at that area. Again, like, I have so much freaking dopamine. In the last few days, I don't know how many, I think we've called accurately like 20 different dollar amounts to the absolute precise target. My brain's just exploding with dopamine. So, like I said, I want to make this relatively short. I just have such a big headache. Because it's like winning the lottery like 50 times, like I already said. So the last thing that I want to look at is, geez, I have a headache. And other YouTubers don't have headaches because they're not calling the price action to the T every single second. Let's see. What's the last thing that we need to look at that's like absolutely monumental? Oh yeah, we want to look at, yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. So we're gonna go to ETH USD Bybit to start out with. And again, this was absolutely monumental. And it's very obvious that these charts are very accurate, and it's very obvious, you know, everybody's covered this multitude of times. Really what we're looking at again is if we do come down, we could potentially wick, you know, we could potentially take a breather, come back up, and then come back down to something like this. Again, it's not confirmed that we're fully up. Let's see if the hourly closed. Yeah, it hasn't closed yet. So that's really what I'm looking at next, is this next hourly close. And this hourly is also going to close the 4 hours. So that's what I'm looking at next. If it does close around these levels, this is going to be indicative of, you know, again, a possible reversal. And it would be more on the bullish side for sure. But, you know, if we do end up coming back down like we've seen multitude of times, like everybody thought we were just going to reverse, and then we have this candlestick wick down. So hitting this channel right here, hitting this area right here, and then if we do break this area, look for a quick wick, and if we don't get it, you know, you want to wait for the bottom on the most bearish scenario possible. We just have to talk about it because nobody was talking about a wick except for us, and we absolutely clutched that play. As it was just absurd. Yeah, that's just not it. We did have this major trend line right here, and it looks like it did wick slightly below it before coming back up. We called the bottom on a different chart though. Let me see if I can pull up a different chart. Oh no, what ended up happening is we actually hit this perfectly, and it wicked, and then it came back down, and I was literally screaming on the live stream. I was like, oh my gosh, it hit our target perfectly. It was ridiculous. So I streamed that live, so you can go watch that. We called like, oh, there it is. No, this is what we were looking at. This one right here, yeah. It's just freaking stupid that we call, like, there's literally not a single person on YouTube that could have made half the calls we made. There's not a single person. I know. I love BitBoy. Not a chance. I love CryptoFace. Not a chance. I love, because it's not like we called it one time. We called like 7 different charts. Like we called the exact price action every single second for like, I think 7 different moves, 4 of which on one chart, and 3 of them being like the top and bottom. Like I said, I love a lot of these bigger guys on YouTube. I love their channels. I love Crypto. Massive respect to Crypto. I love Carl the Moon. But I'm telling you, they're not this good. They're good. They're good. They're not going to hit 7 calls in a row on a live stream. And that was just today alone. And I think it was more than that. That 7 calls conservatively. And then I would hit like 10 yesterday in Buffalo Wild Wings. So, yeah, I'm kind of just done trading today. Like I said, it's just I'm already retiring next year. I don't need this crap. Like my head hurts so much. It's like we won the lottery like 10 times. After a while your head hurts so bad. So, anyways, to like my 7 subscribers, because we're the most underrated channel on the entire internet. I hope you guys have a good night. And like I said before, I drew all these levels for you guys, and this is really what I'm looking at personally. And these are all Fibonacci areas, and as we break these Fibonacci areas, this one mainly being the biggest one, if we break this, then potentially we have a really good idea that it negates this whole downtrend idea, and we can start thinking about a reversal. What is this? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. We had a really good. I have to add to my position. I mean, we had a bearish candlestick close, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's the price is pumping. Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah, so I want to see how the price interacts with this level right here. And really, like, when you look at the 4 hour, you see that it makes this. Oh, what the heck? Let me see. So you have 1. This is on the hourly. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we're looking for another close. Although we did, I believe, just hit this hourly candlestick close, and it looks very good. And it looks like it's hitting our exact target on our chart right here, just about. I mean, it comes up, like, wicks this area, then comes up, hits it as support. So it's looking good. Yeah, it's looking really good. So that was Bybit, Coinbase, Coinbase, and then I think I have a Femex, yeah. And then that's just that trend line that we're not really concerned about. Let's see. Do I have anything else? I think I might have one on Bitchermex. No, just this. And this is looking bullish on the 1 hour. The fact that we just went above the 20 EMA. You know, some people say 21, some say 20. And then look at you just perfectly hit the 4 hour. So obviously this is very relevant in people's technical analysis. So the fact that we did hit this and bounce off of it is bullish. Alright, what do we got? ETH, USD. Oh, so this is actually very bearish. And exactly as predicted. So I told you guys before, I guess all in the live stream, I said we hit this area as resistance, we hit this area as resistance. I was saying that we were most likely going to hit this area as resistance. You hit it again right here, so I was saying this was going to be a major level, and I think there's a Fibonacci area right next to it on top of it. And it looks like temporarily at least we have hit it as resistance, so that's not good. But I also told you guys that was going to happen, and then I also told you guys that we were, like, I told you guys for a multitude of reasons that that was going to happen. The first one being, of course, let's take a look. So I told you guys BTC. I really got to get off because this is just ridiculous. But I'm surprised that you have this doji right here. But I'm surprised you have this doji right here. I'm really surprised. But obviously, according to this chart, we're supposed to continue down on ETH. Potentially, this is really showing consolidation. But again, the Bitcoin charts look a lot better than the ETH charts. And over the midterm, I do expect that this to at least potentially come down and wick this area. And then again, you guys know the bearish but realistic over the more macro term, you know, the next day to 3 days maximum, hitting this target right here. And then potentially, if we do, because of the fundamentals and everything, like I said, the legendary trade is going to be if we do hit this area, and then again, you don't put limit orders in, you wait for this area right here, you wait for the wick, and then this could be, like I said, I called the bottom of the entire Bitcoin rally. I've made a lot of legendary calls, but I think this could be one of the biggest trading opportunities. I think this could be one of the biggest trading opportunities in crypto in this cycle. I mean, we called Cardano at 10 cents, which was legendary. We called the bottom, which was legendary. I mean, calling the top is, yes, legendary, but I think we've had some good calls on this channel, like, obviously, and then I think this, like I said, just to give you the relevancy, just to give you the understanding, like, because, to you it might just be another trade, but as somebody that's making these calls, this right here, if we get a big wick right here, this trade alone could potentially be life-changing money, like maybe $10,000, $100,000 easily on this trade, just depending on what you're trading with. But I could see 100% return or something like that. And of course, that's depending on the leverage. But yes, this could be, and the real thing with this is, like, to really understand the significance of this in the bull run is if we potentially come down to best case scenario, we hit 17 and bounce on this on top of it. If we hit 17, which would be the bottom of the Ethereum wedge, it's like 17, and we hit this and potentially bounce off of both of them. And, we'll talk about leverage when the time comes. But potentially riding 17 all the way up to, around 3,000 would be almost 100% return, no leverage, almost 200% return on 2x. On a 10x, which would be a standard trade, that would be like almost 10,000%. And 10,000% on $10,000 would obviously be 100,000. So potentially turning 10,000 into 100,000 on this trade, like I said. And then you can hold it throughout you can let your winners ride. And really, the only thing that I would be concerned about is the funding rate. But like I said, I just don't really have any concerns like once we hit this level, because again, we were looking at the double top and with the fundamentals and everything, I really do think that we'll bounce from this level, and then Ethereum will get that. Ethereum usually does like an 8x or a 6x or something compared to like Bitcoin's like 2 to 4 or whatever. Historically, Ethereum has always outperformed Bitcoin, and everybody's perplexed as to why that's not the case. And of course, we're the best channel on the internet, so of course we give you the reasons. And we had a double top, which we actually called perfectly, like all the different levels, blah blah blah. And then we actually had this downtrend, which is still playing out, and we actually called this wick perfectly. We called this come up perfectly. We called the continuation down perfectly. And this larger double top right here seems to be in the cards. And then after this major double top plays out, like I said, because of the fundamentals and just how drastically undervalued this currency is, we could potentially hit this level and bounce. And if we did and we didn't end up, what, like I constantly say, if we keep this wick intact and we set still a higher low than this low, like I said, this could potentially be turning easily, conservatively, 10,000 into 100,000. Of course, we will cover it on the channel. So yeah, we're really going over it. We're looking at the ideas, but I conservatively see like a potential $100,000 trade on just like a standard trade. So that's really what I'm looking at. Again, though, I think I called like at least 7 tops I think we called like 2 or 3 on this stream, so I'm beyond done. I have such a headache, but we're looking at these levels, and we're one of the only channels that are looking at these levels. So if you want like a potential 10,000% trade, which I really do think is in the cards, potentially, it depends on the charts, but we're potentially looking at a 10,000% trade. And like I said, we trade everything. Like we go over all the trades, we have 100% accuracy on the channel. Like I'll literally trade right in front of you guys like we do multiple times. I buy coins right in front of you. We have some of the best return rates, if not the best return rates in the space. So anyways, if you're interested in maybe a 10,000% trade and getting updated on that, just turn on your notifications and you get notified on the most underrated channel on the internet. Let me just look at Ethereum one more time. So yeah, I'm still waiting for this close on the 4 hour. That's a massive, this would be huge, especially a close right here would not be bad. It's right above, some of our Fibonacci targets, which is nice. Again, the more Fibonacci's it breaks, the more bullish I am on this, and I believe that these are a little bit outdated. These were the golden pocket, so let's go to, what's that, Kraken. So yeah, I'm looking for, this is obviously massive right here. What's this, 62, 4 hours, looking good. Yeah, so I'm looking at this level, I'm looking at this level. If it breaks this level, let me measure it one more time, but I believe that is the reversal pattern. I'll take like 1 or 2 questions if you guys have any questions that are burning, but I'm about to hop off. Just because I have a headache from calling the price action so correct so many times. Like, it sounds like a joke, but we were literally screaming earlier. We hit that way too hard. We hit way too many calls. It's enough for today. Like, I was just thinking when I got off, I'm like, the fact that this content is free is literally a crime. Yeah, so this is obviously a significant area right here. But of course the content will stay free. Oh yeah, so you measure from right here. So I mean you could look at this right here, but again when it comes to technical analysis you can't just do swing high to swing low. You have to look at Fibonacci areas as like it's like an art. And like you really strategically need to know exactly. So we have this swing high, but then the swing high from right here to swing low would be this move right here. Whereas this is definitely clearly the swing high from this position right here. So we're going to move that down right here. And we're going to move this one to right here. Perfect. And then, yeah, we do get that perfect lineup right there. And there is this resistance area right here, which is massive. So oh, I think the price moved down a little bit since we measured it. I'm not entirely sure. But this is significant right here. Let's see. So you have the golden pocket, you have level 1, you have level 2. Oh yeah, no, so it's looking very nice. It's looking very nice. Really at this point, all I really want to see to confirm this reversal, because like I said, at this point when it hits this level, it's like 68%, and it basically invalidates the downtrend, which in this case is this massive dump right here, because the trend is your friend, and on the smallest time frame there was a downtrend according to this dump right here, and basically what we were looking at is the invalidation of this dump. And so you have the golden pocket area, and then you have this level, and then you have this level. And because it broke this level right here, that's absolutely massive. And then if it just closes above that, this could definitely be a reversal. Again, it's incorrect to use this level right here because this isn't the relative swing high. This was the swing high for this dump right here, and this was obviously the swing low. But if we do look at that area right there, it does wick it. The reason I brought it up is because a lot of people aren't going to be doing the TA accurately. They're just going to go, oh, swing high. This was obviously swing high to swing low. So of course you're going to see this because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. And I don't even know if it wicked it, but we could potentially put a line right there. Because it's not necessarily about like the most mind-shattering TA. It's about the TA that people can understand. Because if it's so advanced that people can't understand it, then nobody's going to trade by it. And a lot of people struggle with really correctly doing Elliott wave, and so that's why sometimes it doesn't play out exactly as predicted. Whereas consolidation patterns, obviously that's very easy for people to figure out. Alright, so that should do it. So yeah, I'm looking at this level. If we get a close anywhere around these levels, it's looking good for a reversal pattern. But again, I would prefer to start looking at these levels before I potentially start adding to a position. And there's not really a trade to be made, like from a pattern perspective. There's just not. Like I said, we went over trades earlier, so I have a headache. I can't really go over it right now. Maybe if I had more subs, I'd be like, oh, well, I have so many people I'm trying to help out, so I guess I'll go over it. But I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 people that are watching the videos. So, anyways, it's the most underrated channel. It's the best up-to-date information. Congratulations if you're subbed. Which is a better investment? So I've covered this a multitude of times on the channel. I've covered this a multitude of times on the channel. I'll just cover it. I'll just cover it really quick. Good evening. Do you think Doge is... I covered this multitude. I literally showed you last time. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly breeze through these because I cover this all the time on the channel. So Doge, there's no fundamentals. Go look at the video I made an hour ago. I covered it very in depth, but the TA is saying dump Doge, not good. I put some money into ADA. So I mean, we were heavily accumulating at 10 cents, and we have like I think at this point a 1,000 something % return on this channel, and we dumped money in. We then put some more money in around 88 cents at the recent bottom, and then it's up like 24 cents today. Those were the 2 times we bought ADA. Those were 2 best times to buy ADA. If you want to know when to buy ADA, you have to sub to this channel because we have the best track record out of anybody. Yes, you could buy before, but it was just a white paper back then, and like when Shelly was really developing, and when we were really focused on Gauguin and programmable logic and all the best risk to reward ratios, we killed it, and we were actually one of the first people to talk about Cardano and be so ridiculously bullish even before Bitcoin, or even before BitBoy. Thoughts on Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts on Bitcoin Cash, but none of them are positive. But so the bullish argument on Bitcoin Cash is, so what Bitcoin Cash is it's a hard fork from Bitcoin. And what you have to understand about hard forks, whether it's Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, SV, like whatever it is, there's a lot of different hard forks. None of them are going to play out. Obviously, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and none of these forks, because what you have to understand about forks, a lot of newer guys to the space, they always fall into this trap. I think NM Crypto was like, yeah, don't get into that, and he's like one of the biggest guys, and I'm so happy for him because he's like, I just don't buy trash coins. Like, even I'm helping you out. I'm helping everybody out, so don't worry about it. We save people so much money on this channel. It's just stupid. But so Bitcoin Cash, it's a crap coin. Da Vinci, whatever, is saying that it's a quick flip. I've gotten this question so many times, and it's just a crap coin. If you want to get a quick flip, you can, but and there's potential there. But the way that I see it is, why would I be left holding a bag that's like a crap coin, and why would I be stressed about that and stuff when I can just buy something like, we just called the top on Polkadot and Cardano and XLM. There's not really a lot of opportunities right now, but at this point, I would probably buy ETH over Bitcoin Cash, to be honest with you. Just because like I know long term ETH is gonna go doing well, and I don't have to stress about it. And I know long term Bitcoin Cash is just a crap coin. And once a lot of the newer guys to the space realize that. So what is Bitcoin Cash? Bitcoin Cash has faster transaction speeds than Bitcoin. It's the same blockchain like code, with some of the code edited to make faster transaction speed. Bitcoin has extremely slow transaction speed, whereas Bitcoin Cash has faster transaction speed. The thing is that Bitcoin's a store of value. It's not a means of payment methods between cross borders. Like if you want something faster, you go with XLM. So it's a very common misconception to get into something like Bitcoin Cash thinking, oh, it's important because it's faster. Well, Dash is faster, XRP is faster, XLM is faster. So there's just no real use case for it. You look at Satoshi Vision, you look at all these, and it's like if we go with these forks, then at that point, like when do the forks stop? And then the money keeps going into each of these newer forks, and then it's not really a store of value. So nobody takes whatever you call them, hard forks seriously. They're crap coins. Do not get involved with them. It's a beginner's mistake, I suppose, and I mean that in the nicest way. I'm just trying to save you money. When did you first get into crypto? I got in really early. I heard about it in college back when Bitcoin was $100, but or maybe less. I don't know. But it never really made sense back when I was really early involved, because people are like, well, what if I would have put $100 into Bitcoin, blah 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 ago? They didn't have the community, they didn't have the fundamentals. There was no reason to get into crypto back then. The real reasons you get into crypto is because like Bitcoin's a hedge against inflation, and you had the thing with the stimulus package. And so when I called the bottom of this bull cycle, that was monumental, and I told everybody to put their life savings in at 11. And I mean, like, even 2017 was risky, but I think this bull cycle was by far best risk to reward ratio. So I've been in relatively since the beginning, but I haven't really involved myself like to what I am right now with my investments until like 11. Like I've been in it since like around $100. Do you have anything in XLM? Yeah, I have XLM, Stellar Lumens. Like I said, it's a small position of mine, and it's a diversification into another what do you call it? Sector. So when Warren Buffett or whatever talks about when Warren Buffett talks about diversification, he's not talking about just buying a bunch of random stocks. He's talking about diversifying into different sectors. And for cross-border payment methods, XLM seems to be a pretty solid large cap. So I do have a relative position in XLM, but the majority of my holdings are in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, to be completely transparent, which is a better investment. And like I to be honest, I have more Uniswap, and I actually called the bottom on Uniswap yesterday, which was and I actually called the bottom on Chainlink yesterday, and I do have more Chainlink and Uni than XLM, and I called the top on XLM, but and I got the price targets for them in yesterday's video, which I believe was 98 cents on a Fibonacci extension, which had previously called the top. So, I mean, it's not a crap coin. It's, just relative, like with XLM, with Uni, with Chainlink, with, we talked about VeChain earlier. Like, these are good coins. They're not crap coins. If you can get a good deal on them, get a good deal on them. Am I buying it over something else? If I get a good deal on it, really, the coins that I favor the most are going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, with, in my opinion, the best crypto, which I've been talking about for a very long time, being Cardano, obviously. So, which is a better investment than ADA or Ethereum? So you have Cardano and you have Ethereum. So short term, Ethereum is heavily undervalued, and I talked about the bullish and bearish scenario. So short term, this cycle, I think Ethereum is going to be performing absolutely massively. Long term, I mean, ADA is by far the best cryptocurrency. And a lot of the guys that are fudging the price on it, it's really irritating, and we always comment on them, and we always call out all the fake YouTubers, and these will be big channels. Like, I remember getting furious with Crypto Love saying that ADA is a what did he say? It's an oscillator. It's like I forget what he said. He said that there's not predominant, like, historical like however, there's not clear cycles with Cardano. And, to the point of that, to really answer that question from I don't want to say an expert in Cardano, but I was one of the biggest proponents of it for the longest time, before all the normies jumped on the plane, and now everybody on BitBoy's live stream is screaming Cardano with exclamation points. Yeah, we started that wave. We actually we were massively bullish on Cardano before BitBoy was. But to basically answer that question, and it was a white paper in like 2018, then in 2019, and really what we got it when we got involved around 10 cents, there was massive development going on, and like what they say, what you're always going to hear about Cardano is, oh, well, there's no dApps built on top of Cardano. It doesn't have the programmable logic, which is stage 3, which is being worked on right now, which is called Goguen. It's not fully developed or whatever. The lines of code have already been written. We're just waiting on the mainnet to launch. Everything's going to plan. And I mean, I don't really want to get into it too much because I've spent so much time talking about it. And I've really gone over this a lot, like this question a lot. But just to answer your question really quickly, ETH is a better short term. Cardano is a better long term cryptocurrency. Now, how are they going to perform? Like I said, we got in at 88 cents. It's up like 24 today. We got in at 10 cents. It's up 10,000, or it's up 1,000%. And then we staked it on top of that because we knew exactly what we're doing. Thanks. I've only been in crypto for a few months now, so just trying to increase my wallet a bit. Last question before you go. Best platform. Yeah, so it depends on what you're trying to do, and it depends on what you're buying, and it depends on a lot of things. So I'll just list off the best thing for everything. So if you want something safe and you don't really care about fees, but you want something really safe and you're planning on purchasing at least more than like $204 worth of it or something like that, probably Coinbase. If you're looking for if you're not going to be really involved in the space and you're not really going to be using your own keys, so like if you're not going to be really involved with the space and you don't need your own private keys, I always recommend having your own private keys. And every expert in the space is going to recommend having your own private keys. But if you're not going to be very involved and you just want to take advantage of the price increase, probably PayPal. If you're going to be more involved in the space and you're looking at, you're starting to become a little bit more advanced and you're looking for the best fees, the most access to the most coins, you're probably going to be looking at Binance US, although I wouldn't recommend storing your coins on Binance US. I mean, you can, and it just depends on how much you're putting in. Like personally, I would rather just pay the Coinbase fees. I'd rather just work with like crypto.com, or yeah, I would rather just do the Coinbase fees. But obviously if you're looking at Cardano, you'd have to buy it off of like Kraken, and so if you're in the United States, Kraken's a very safe exchange. Fees are relative compared to like Coinbase, crypto.com. Yeah, Kraken's pretty much around the same. So like it really just depends. If you're like looking for like the most amount of coins with the cheapest exchange rate, which would be like if you were like trying to get involved with crypto a lot more, and you were looking at maybe putting it on Blockstack or BlockFi. For I get them mixed up. But if you're trying to like look to like do things with your crypto or invest them or whatever, like, and you want your keys, and you want the lowest exchange rates, and you want the most access to the most coins, you're probably gonna have to look at either Kraken if you're a United States citizen and you want a little more security, or if you want the lowest fees, probably Binance US. And then I mean, Uniswap's an exchange, but you're going to be paying extreme fees on Uniswap. Not really worth it unless you're looking for micro caps. And then I'll just take like a few more questions if you have any more questions, like 2 or 3 more questions if you have any more questions. Let's see. We're still waiting on that 4-hour candlestick close. Again, that's going to be massive. And again, we were talking about this as potential resistance, and it looks like we're hitting these areas. Damn. So yeah, this is obviously going to be a massive area to look at right here for resistance. So yeah, just ask questions if you have any questions, and I'll just answer them really quick before I'm out. And then I streamed quite a bit today. I think this is my 3rd stream today. So I called the price action like at least 7 times on my other stream, and I pretty much went over all the different coins and earlier. Let's see, that's Bitcoin. Alright, so Bitcoin was looking a little more bullish earlier. Now it's looking about the same. It did break through this level, which is really good. Again, what I want to see is a close like around these levels, if not higher, because these levels right here are Fibonacci extensions, and we're looking for that reversal idea out of the downtrend, which is going to be on the lower time frames of this wick. Thanks, dude. Go get some sleep. Thank you. I'm actually gonna be trading at Buffalo Wild Wings. Like I'm probably gonna be on for like 4 hours, but like I think I called the price action, I think at least 7 or something times at least. Like I called like the bottom on other charts. I have the bottom, I called the top, I called the dump, and like after a while I just got a headache because my dopamine. What? I called the top and bottom like 7 times, and after celebrating so much, I just got a headache because I just too much dopamine. So I guess like I said before, we're looking at these levels. These are Fibonacci levels. I'll just go over this one more time because it's massively important, and it really gives. So like again, like on this channel, we only talk about what's absolutely relatively massively important. And so the thing that we're looking for right now, any like pro trader is going to be looking at is the 4-hour candlestick close. If we get anything, right now it's sort of looking like a doji, which is like a consolidation, and then earlier it was looking like a nice wick. If we continue to go up, and I'll show you exactly, I'll leave you guys with exactly what we're looking for. So we're looking at swing high. So again, you could take this swing high to swing low, but that wouldn't be correct. You want to take this one because this one's more relative, because this actually had a swing high, but then this was its swing low. So what you do is you take this swing high, which we were talking about earlier. I see a lot of guys do incorrect TA and it just boils my blood. It's like, what are you doing? And then this is our swing low. And then this isn't Fibonacci retracement. This is the exact opposite of Fibonacci retracement, literally. This is called trend-based fib. And this is this is the exact tool you would look to find a recovery of a wick down. Like this is the exact tool that you would use to look for a recovery. So we hit this area that was massively bullish. We broke through this area. This was absolutely bullish. And then zooming in, we broke through this area, which was absolutely bullish. And this is the last level. This is the 68% level right there. And if you read any like trading textbook or whatever, it says that once you break this break this 0.382 level right here, which isn't talked about a lot, only like, whatever. If you read a textbook, it's going to say that if you break this level right here and hold above it, then you can really start looking for the idea of a reversal. And that's kind of like what we're looking at right here. It's extremely bullish, and bullish means that it's looking good on the price action for a reversal if we do break this level right here and hold above it. If the price action can come up here, break above it, hold above it, we could definitely see a reversal idea out of here. And then we want this level to at least hold. This is the halfway mark. We want at least this level to hold. I don't want to draw any more of these because I really would just want to. These are all major Fibonacci levels that we're looking at. And every time we break one of these lines right here, it's massively bullish, which means it's really good for the price action. So I told you guys, like, after I called the dump, I said it's not just going to wick back up and go up immediately. We have to take it level by level, and it actually ended up wicking down again multiple times. So if anybody was trying to set up a long back then, I saved them a lot of money not getting liquidated or getting stopped out. And like I said before, when I first started, it's like a few hours ago, I was like, we gotta take it level by level. Voyager, yeah, I like Voyager. Obviously a lot of people are very big on Voyager. To me, it's just another one of those coins. I believe this is the ticker symbol, USD. This is the ticker symbol, Voyager. Yeah, obviously it's a good, a lot of people are using the product. It's going up a lot. I'll just go on the weekly or monthly, and then I'll end with Voyager. This is the daily, I think. So there's a lot of ways that we can look at this. So the first thing that I look at right here, that I see, that I don't think a lot of guys that are going to be doing TA are going to really pick up on, is you have this swing high right here. And then we're going to have to zoom in to find the real significant low, and I think I just found it. Yeah, it's definitely right here. So this is absolutely a perfect spot to start on Voyager. So you have this swing low right here, and then you have this. Is this the swing high right here? Yes. So again, it's anybody can learn swing high to swing low, but really being able to nitpick that specific spot is going to be absolutely monumental. And we really start to see the price like top out, come out right here exactly as predicted. So yeah, I mean, we hit this, and then we already did hit this Fibonacci extension, but this is still going to be relative. So Yeah, I mean, like, look at that hit, perfect. So like right here, I would put one right here. Although again, like I said, it did already wick this area. So then the next level I would take would be this level right here. And clearly, I don't even know how to do their accents. You have this, which would definitely be, so this is a swing high, this is the swing low. Yeah, so it would be right here to right here. And I don't really like this area a lot, so we're going to look at another area after this, and I'll show you why I don't like it in a second. So clearly you take this swing high and this swing low. And in every single level. See, this is why I just get too excited. It's like a freaking nerd doing math. And I'm just like really good at it. And I'm literally like a freaking nerd. Like, once you understand TA, you're just gonna keep hitting everything perfectly, and then you just turn into a money machine, just straight up. Like, I mean, if you can call every single top, if you can call every single bottom, how can you not? Like, you can just keep making money on top of money on top. If you know where the price is gonna go every single second. So anyways, let's just keep working. So, like I said, the reason I don't like that level is because this is just, so what this is this is the golden pocket right here. And so what I want to see to continue bullish on Voyager and not see a continuation of this, price action going down. And really why it went down is because we got rejected. So this would be a bearish test of the golden pocket. But yeah, we want to see this level break, not only because it's all-time high, but because it's also the Fibonacci retracement. This makes sense. Like, that's the reason you use Fibonacci retracement to begin with, is to see where the price action is going to retrace. And the fact that the price action did retrace to that level and then did not continue higher is literally what it's used for. So it's very obvious that we got a rejection right here. Whereas if we were to break above it, then that would be the retracement, and then that would be the confirmation that we're continuing higher. Let's take it another level. So we called this. So we got this one to this one. Yeah, so the next level I would look at is this level to this level. And again, it's a technician. Like, anybody can learn TA, but you really need to be able to look at the price action and know exactly where to take these levels at to where they're going to be the most relevant. And you need to know, like, on the time frames and whatnot. So, I mean, would I take this swing low? Absolutely not. But it looks like this swing high and this swing low are right next to each other. You see this? Swing high, swing high, swing low, swing low. So this could be a cluster, what we call a Fibonacci retracement cluster. So this is definitely going to be a target. So this is going to be the extension right here. So that's definitely going to be a target. And I can cover crap coins, but I don't really, we don't really flip crap coins on this channel. So like, I have no problem covering Voyager because I don't think that it's a crap coin, but I mean, unless there's heavy demand for a crap coin, I'm not really going to go over the TA for it because, like I said, it doesn't really make sense, especially to trade it. And I've talked about a lot of times why, a lot of times people are just showing the trades on them for clickbait, and we don't really roll like that. We don't roll like that on this channel. So yeah, this looks like, and then we'll hit this Fibonacci extension, And now we have it all charted out. So next time we pull up the charts, I'll pull up the charts like I'll do like somebody will be like, "Can you go over this chart?" And then I'll pull it up like randomly like a few months or not a few months, but like a few days later, and like our exact targets were all hit, and I just freak out. So yeah, I need a break from trading. Okay, so those are all really nice targets that we're looking at. And a lot of these have been hit, so we're nearly entirely good on all of these. So really what we're looking at is this level right here. This is a major level. Oh, this is Voyager to Bitcoin. I'm so tired, I didn't even realize that. Let's go Voyager to USD. You always want to go with the USD comparative, because more people trade based off of the USD value. So you can do technical analysis on like what we were doing, but I was like, why is it so small amount? But that does give you a good perspective that I don't think you would see on very many other channels. So let's take a look at exactly what we're looking at. And taking a second to really look at the chart and understand what you're looking at is absolutely massive, as stupid as it sounds. So clearly what I'm looking at here, and it does take some time to really sit down and look at what you're looking at. You can't just start drawing lines all over the chart. You need to make sure that you're looking at, if there's multiple different patterns you're looking at, you need to make sure that you're looking at well, clearly this SMA or this EMA is relative. So on a bearish pullback, we could get a pullback to this level. It looks like it's very validated by historical context, but this is on the daily. But and then that gives you a really good idea of, okay, so it could pull back to what time frame do we look at the daily on the EMA 20. And it looks like that it constantly hits this area and bounces off. So this would be one of the best buying opportunities potentially if you're interested in Voyager, um, from a historical context of the charts. So really what we're looking at very obviously, and at this point we're seeing this a lot in a lot of the different coins, is we're very clearly seeing an uptrend. That's the pattern that we're looking at. This kind of reminds me of a cup and handle, but and this kind of reminds me of a parabolic curve. So I'm going to go over the parabolic curve idea. And a parabolic curve is not like a opinionated statement like, oh, it's going up parabolically. We can actually chart a parabolic curve, and it's actually fundamental technical analysis. And to say that a token is going up parabolic, um, it has to be confirmed by this indicator. It's not going up parabolically. It should be. I just drew one earlier. It's this one, yeah. Okay, so it looks like this is a really good start right here. Wow, I do like that idea. And then, wow, I do like that. Yeah, it's starting to look good. Straight parabolic. So, you can't just like form it to the actual, it has to have multiple touch points. So this is one touch point. This is two, it looks like. Is that two? Nearly, but not on the money. And then, like right here. So we could look at it like this. I mean, it looks good when you zoom out, but it's not perfect, and you do want the charts to be perfect. If they're not perfect, the only person that you're cheating is yourself if you're trading it. So this is technically as in it lines up with technical analysis. This is technically a parabolic curve right here. So this is on the daily, so obviously it is extremely significant. If you don't know the higher time frames, the more relevant it is. So you have one touch point right here, and then you have two touch points right here. They're not perfect. Let's see. There we go. Boom. Well, let's just make sure that last touch point lines up. Yeah, so boom. Yeah, so this is a correctly drawn parabolic curve. The more touch points, the more valid it is, but technically speaking, from technical analysis, this is a parabolic curve. And that's one of the things I definitely see on the chart. What else do we see? And then I think really, again, I don't really want to use this, so something like the swing low right here is going to be significant, and then this top is going to be significant. So if we go right here, Fibonacci retracement, and then you go from this swing high to this swing low on the daily, this seems very significant. So boom. And then your price target would be right here. And then because everything else has already been used on this, you just delete that. So you have a potential target now. And then again, you have this as obvious, like we talk about bounce, 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 bounce. Guaranteed support right here. So, I mean, you could find support on this parabolic curve. You could break this parabolic curve and go higher. You could find support right here. You could have a target right here. So that gives you a really good idea of potential support, potential resistance, and really the overall pattern that we're looking at. I think that's gonna do it for, unless we have one more quick question. So yeah, that's Voyager. I mean, tokenomics, like I said, though if you're just not looking for the chart, but really like, what do you think about Voyager or whatever? I think about it like a lot of the other coins. It's not a complete crap coin. It's one of those things that I look at and I say, okay, well, if I can get a good deal on it, it hasn't proven itself like something like Uniswap. But it isn't a crap coin. I don't even think I would compare it to something like VeChain. but I don't think it's a crap coin. So if I was to get if the price action was to pull back to that area of that moving average, which right there, that moving average, that's relatively significant. Like when the time comes, that's the EMA 20. Um, and you can go on TradingView and put a trading alert. If you get the TradingView app, whether you have the free version or not, you can get a trading alert to get sent a text message when it hits that level. And that's probably what I would do if I was very interested in Voyager, because at the end of the day, if you want the best coins, just sub to the channel, and we give all the best opportunities, and we have an extremely, if not the best, track record of doing that. So, I mean, yeah, since you found this channel, the best thing you could really do is just watch the channel, and then, if you really like this coin, I mean, like, if you're talking about me personally, I would take maybe a buying opportunity right here. But like I said, there's just like it's like people are like, do you like VeChain? Well, I like VeChain, but like people were asking me if I like VeChain based off Cardano when they were both pumping the same. I like VeChain, I really do. But if VeChain was a few months ago pumping the same as Cardano, and it's like, should I accumulate more VeChain or should I accumulate more Cardano? And a lot of people are like, I'm gonna accumulate both of them, and I'm like, I'm obviously, if you're giving me the option, which there is the option there, and they're pumping the same, I'm obviously going to accumulate more Cardano, and that's what I did, and it drastically outperformed it. Then later we talked about, oh wow, VeChain's kind of underrated, and then it had that parabolic pump. And so yeah, I mean, really, I mean, on this channel, like we would consider if there was like there's always gonna be better coins in my opinion, just because we're gonna give you the best stuff on the available in cryptocurrency. But I would consider right here, if any. That's just me personally, but this gives you an idea of what's going on with the charts. Alrighty. Absolutely. I appreciate it. I appreciate the thanks. So that's gonna do it for tonight. We're looking at those levels, we're looking at those closes, we're looking at those fibs that I gave out earlier, and like I said, you don't just hop right into a trade. You look at those, you look at those levels we talked about, and if it does, then we see that reversal type idea, which is what we're looking for. But at this point, it's not a guaranteed reversal, and so opening a long position right now could get you in a lot of trouble if you're not on low leverage cost base averaging in. Well, like I said, we always do it from a position of power. So I told you guys about the 4 hour. I told you guys, let me just check the charts really quick and see if we got that 4 hour candlestick close. My computer's frozen. But yeah, we're looking for that 4 hour candlestick close, and if we get that, that's going to be massive. And then what we're looking at is again that Fibonacci extension that is textbook designed. The reason for the extension that we're looking at again, that 0.382 level that I showed you earlier. If it breaks above that and holds above that, that's really one of the best technical, if not the best technical analysis that you need to figure out, are we going to continue lower or is this dip over? And so anyways, I told you everything you need to know. I always do. No BS, just straight to the point what you need to know. Sub to the channel if you're not a billionaire looking for it to make, or even if you're a millionaire, whatever. If you're looking to make a little bit more money, if you don't want to lose money, whatever, this is going to be the best channel on the internet to get involved with. So just make sure you're subbed, and